everyone, and welcome back to the Crystalina Perspective on my Mental Health Monday talk. And today we are going to be talking about life after discharging from a mental health hospital. So if you saw my previous two videos, which you really should, I will link them below. I basically talk about my journey to becoming, well, not becoming, but developing borderline personality disorder, as well as I talk about just me being in the mental hospital and just different events that transpired into within my mental health journey. Now, I apologize for the raspy voice. I went out of town this weekend and I kind of lost my voice, and I have a few health issues going on, but the show must continue. So if you are interested in learning about life after discharge, stay tuned. So last week we kind of talked about me staying in a mental health hospital for a week and a half, and I basically told you guys the good, bad, and ugly of that journey. So today we're going to talk about basically discharging from the mental health hospital and what you do to get reaccustomed to life. So I have a few resources here that I wanted to show you guys to kind of give you an idea of different things that I use to help me develop coping skills, as well as different things I use to help me get better at expressing my emotions and dealing with my feelings. And let's just be honest, I am still learning how to truly deal with my emotions and feelings. It is not something I have truly mastered. And I was in the hospital in 2016. It's 2019, almost 2020, and I'm still learning how to deal with how I feel and just been struggling with how I express myself. So that is why the therapy is very important. I will do a video a little bit later in this series regarding borderline personality disorder and treatments, but one of the main treatments for borderline personality disorder is for you to be able to have therapy so you can learn to express your emotions, express your thoughts, express your feelings, express yourself, basically. And so I have been working on that since 2016. I have not mastered it. I am still, working out the kinks with things, but in due time, everything will work out and I will be all the way back, 100% back at that level that I was at once before mentally. But I will always be a new person, and I always try to tell people to kind of think of that in your mental health journey. For so long, I desired to be the old me. Oh, I want to be the old Crystal. The old Crystal was happy and da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. However, that's not necessarily true, because the old Crystal had a lot of tendencies that weren't healthy. The old Crystal did not know how to express herself, talk about feelings. The old Crystal was not brave enough to do this, sit in front of a camera and share her journey or her struggles with everyone. The old Crystal basically made it seemed as if everything was perfect. And we all know that life is not perfect. And although as many times as we try to make it as perfect as possible, it's just not. So now I am all about the anew Crystal, being authentically me, learning to understand that yes, I do have flaws. Yes, I have made some mistakes. Yes, I've done some terrible things, but who hasn't? So that is basically the gist with borderline personality, how you kind of want to look at the discharge, because you're not going to be your old self, simply because just like any physical illness, if you go in the hospital and have a major surgery and lose a few organs, you're not going to be the same person. But that does not mean that you are less than of a person or any type of negative connotation people try to associate with being a different person or the word I like to use. There's nothing wrong with that. That just means that you are growing and developing within whatever it is that's causing you to have been in that tight, pressed spot. So that's my spiel. My spiel, my new word that I just made up. And we're just gonna basically talk about it. So when you discharge from a mental hospital, they come up with what they call an action plan. So last week I showed you guys my famous mental health binder that I have managed to hold on to. It still have my admissions paperwork in here because it's a reminder for me to not give up, because I don't want to go back to the mental hospital. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the mental hospital, but I know for me, if I go to the mental hospital, that's going backwards. I don't want to go backwards. So I hold on to this in every resource that I ever was taught or I ever used. I basically try my best to reflect and go back, and if it's something I'm struggling with, for example, stress has been something that I have been struggling with lately. So I have revisited my handy dandy mental health binder as well as some resources that I have, and basically doing that has allowed me to be able to not only figure out where the disconnect is at, but also fix the issue. So when you discharge, you're basically given a slew of information, just being honest with you guys. And so I'm gonna kind of show you guys. It's called My Recovery Safety Crisis Plan. That is what they call it. And so I'm just going to kind of show you what it looks like. On here, it has where you write your triggers and your stressors. You also write warning signs. So for example, some warning signs for me that still are true today. Isolation. Borderline personality is a huge emotion disorder. It doesn't mean that you have it's not like split personality where you become two whole different people. Yeah, you may experience some mania with borderline personality and your serotonin and dopamine in your brain may be off, but for the most part, one word to describe borderline personality: emotions. And you cannot handle your emotions. So that is one of the flags. If you've never been able to handle your emotions, if you've had a lot of traumatic things to happen in your life, whatever the case may be, you just can't handle your emotions. And I would insert a true definition of borderline personality within this video, so that way you can kind of see that it isn't, and I'm not saying that, oh, well, this is bad. No, I'm just expressing to you what it is. It's not what a lot of people think it is. It's an emotional disorder. You can't handle your emotions. Just like any other disorder, people will want you to clarify. So I just wanted to clarify that it's basically you can't deal with your emotions. And at the time, some warning signs for me to help me know that I was at risk, as I was saying earlier, was isolating myself from others. Ooh, child. I would isolate myself so bad, to the point to where I was kind of anti. But I don't have an antisocial disorder or anything, but that's how I would isolate myself. Irritability and anger was those two things that, oh my God, they were you knew I was going to turn manic, because if I was just a ball of fire, when it came to those emotions. Crying spells. 1 minute I'm sitting here laughing and talking and chit-chatting with you, the next minute I done broke down crying. I was a big suicide and cutter. suicide thought, thinker, and cutter. So a lot of people with borderline personality, they have a lot of suicide thoughts. Some of these people have direct plans. Now, trigger warning. If your friend or family member or whomever has basically expressed to you, I'm going to kill myself and I'm going to do it in XYZ, trigger warning. That is a flag. You need to get them help, whether you feel bad or not, or whatever the case may be. You need to get them help, because you want to know something? Suicide thoughts and thinking about it is something that is processed over and over and over. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, she's just joking, talking about she want to kill herself, blah, blah, blah. Well, it may seem as a joke, but when that friend start doing other tendencies, isolating themselves, collecting tons of medications, stop taking their medications so that way they can have more to create a bolus to therefore overdose themselves, excessively drinking alcohol, doing dangerous things, you name it. When a person starts to do something different and spiral in a different direction, that typically means that the suicide thought isn't just a threat, it's a confirmed plan. And they're waiting on that one thing to just set them off so they can act on it. That is something that you should watch out for with loved ones. Cutting themselves. Sometimes cutting themselves could be, oh, well, I kind of want attention, I kind of don't. But for the most part, cutting themselves on wrist or where major arteries are, those are warning signs that this person need help. And so don't belittle a person when they say, oh, I'm going to kill myself. Don't laugh about it. Don't think it's a joke, because you want to ask further questions and ask open-ended questions. Don't ask a question where they can be like, yeah, no, maybe. Ask open-ended questions that are going to force them to talk to you, because you never know. And a lot of people have lost loved ones because the family member has said, oh, I'm gonna kill myself, and they thought maybe it was a joke when it really wasn't a joke. This person had a legit plan and they carried their plan out. So you guys need to make sure that you are listening to those type of triggers and warning signs that a loved one may give you. Also on this, it has my coping skills, things to do, my goals for recovery, people to contact, and then it had a statement that I had to sign that I did not have access to prescription medications other than prescribed, weapons, lethal medications, and other means of self-harm. It also had some reminders on here that I needed to take my medications as ordered, as well as if I experience side effects from medications, I need to notify my PCP. So this is what it looks like. It was a carbon copy. Up here is a note that my friend who is my support person, and that'll be next week's video. We'll talk about caring for someone with borderline personality disorder or any mental health disorder for that matter. And she's gonna come on the video and share some tips for caregivers, because one part of your mental health journey with discharge is identifying someone who can be a major support person for you, as well as other support people. One person can't be your support person. You need multiple people. So that was my recovery crisis safety plan. So that was that. So I also received a certificate because I went back into the a program that I told you guys about that I did, program that I went back to after me staying in the mental health hospital. And this was basically my discharge information. And technically, I did not truly discharge, But they put on here all the doctor's appointments that I had, all my therapy sessions, all my medications. I also joined a CODA support group because with borderline personality, you become dependent on others. You become so dependent on others being around you to have fun, what have you. So basically, I had a list of different support groups and different things that I could do, and I basically I had support groups. So I had CODA as well as depression. Sorry guys, I got foggy right now. I'm not organized today. But basically, you want to identify, after you created your plan, you want to identify support groups. Support groups are very, very important because they basically help keep you on track, especially if you don't go to an outpatient program like how I did. You need those support groups, and they help. Like, they truly, truly help. And then one last thing I want to touch on is that you need to utilize your coping skills. So a few things that I got, these are really jumbo coloring books that I got from Michael's. Coloring for me, I'm a very artistic, creative person. So coloring for me is very, very helpful. I got some fancy pens that I use to color some of these pictures with. And every now and again, I still color. It just kind of depends on my emotions. Something I am trying to get back to is getting more back into the coloring, because coloring actually helped me. Coloring and listening to like really smooth, slow music. So that's like one coping skill that you can use. But this is like one of the pictures that I colored. I left it like kind of unfinished type of deal. But coloring and then getting resources, like I got the depression workbook, and I can like basically, and it's tabbed with different things in here. It kind of helps you. I had to like basically put myself on a schedule like this, guys. Like everything I would do just so I would get out the bed. I also, cognitive and dialectic behavior therapy skill workbooks are really good to get because they teach you coping skills, like hands down. I got this one. It was a step-by-step program, and basically it basically challenged you to think about your feelings and turning them into thoughts. So for example, this is a table here that talks about describe the feeling, now help turn that feeling into a thought so you can express yourself. And picked up the wrong book, dialectic therapy. I have one for anxiety because I had anxiety really, really bad. And so these workbooks are really helpful. Like, they basically challenge you to stop and think about what emotion is triggering you and what is bothering you. And so I really enjoy working with these books. Every now and then I'll go back and look at them. But that's the third thing. You want to make sure that you get you a ton of coping skills, and those coping skills are going to help you get through this next phase. So 3 things, guys, when it comes to discharging. 1, you want to have some type of recovery safety crisis plan that you and your support group person, people, all of you guys discuss with one another. 2, you most definitely, can't express this enough, most definitely want to get coping skills. Coping skills are so important. Going to therapy, coloring, doing everything that you need to do to make sure that you are learning how to express yourself and your thoughts. And when it comes to the last coping skill, you want to make sure that, you know what? I just went blank. That's sad. but I will put it right here. I will list all the 3 major things you want to do when discharging. So I hope that these videos have been very helpful for you guys. This is the last Monday in Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. I will not stop just because it's the end of Minority Mental Health Month. I will not. I will continue to share my journey, share what information that I have, and do what I can do. And it's crazy. That 3rd point came back to me. Support groups. Make sure that you get you some type of support person, support group, something to kind of help you. So, yes, I will continue to share my journey. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, push that notification bell so that you don't miss any videos from me. And like I stated, I hope and pray that these videos are helpful to somebody, that somebody can use them. And until next Monday, I will see you guys next Monday for Mental Health Mondays. Bye. This is the last Monday in Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. I will not stop just because it's the end of Minority Mental Health Month. I will not. I will continue to share my journey, share what information that I have, and do what I can do. And it's crazy. That 3rd point came back to me. Support groups. Make sure that you get you some type of support person, support group, something to kind of help you. So, yes, I will continue to share my journey. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, push that notification bell so that you don't miss any videos from me. And like I stated, I hope and pray that these videos are helpful to somebody, that somebody can use them. And until next Monday, I will see you guys next Monday for Mental Health Mondays. Bye.